I've been out of high school over 30 years. And my thing is, every year that I go, I look at people fought. They got one foot. Some of these fellas got one foot in the grave and they're younger than me. I be like, God damn, he just fell off. But I know why he don't trip off of beauty. He can't. Once again, the marketplace determines that. So the reality is everybody gets what they qualify for. And if you can't handle a baddie, that's a personality problem. If you don't want the woman's looking at, if you don't want guys looking at your girl, you worried about, you insecure, that sounds like a personality issue. I don't mind people looking at my girl, especially if we solid. Beauty matters, right? First of all, it's a few things that you guys were saying. Like, generally, beautiful women hold their own in a crowd. Generally speaking, I mean, there's exceptions where a woman is just super introvert and don't like to, but she typically don't go out anyway. So if a woman is out in an event or in a crowd, or she's going somewhere, y'all going to the Super Bowl party, she's fine. She knows how to talk to people. So that's a talking point that we use just to, I don't know, it just seems like it's just a talking point. Typically, fine women know how to work a room, right? And then, beautiful to me, I heard about 3 times on the panel. But we all go by a general beauty standard. And the beauty standard is typically established by the community and the environment in which you grew up in. There was a time fat, obese people was fine to everybody in the land. Because if you were fat, it showed that you could eat. And you had money, you had gold coins and silver coins to be able to go buy food. So it's not so, but today that's totally flipped on its head. Society typically, so when we say beautiful to me, well, I know that sounds good. That's a good talking point. But the reality is, what's beautiful to you is beautiful to everybody. We all kind of assume, we see a woman, we know a fine woman when we see one. So if she's beautiful to you, she's probably going to be beautiful to me too. And then, let's make no mistake, the marketplace determines if you're that guy.
Facts.
I'm with you, Clout, but when you start saying I'm that man, they're starting to say that, if you rate yourself, then you sound like the women that when they say they're 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it started to sound like. Oh, and I know you don't really think like that, but it just sounded, because I'm the man. Everybody thinks they the man. And the reality is, you the man if the marketplace says you the man. But if your outcomes and your results don't show that, I don't give a damn what you think. What's happening is what is your value based on the sexual marketplace? And if that can be determined by how many baddies you get versus how many fuglies you get. If fuglies is the only thing that you can get, then you might want to hit the gym. You may want to work out a little bit. I work out every day, 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. And I do that not only because I want to be young and healthy and be able to throw a football with my young sons, but I want to fuck with the lights on. I want to look good.
Yo, I did not expect that.
I didn't expect that either.
I was ready for it, but I ain't mad at you.
I want to be the best looking physically.
Whole head out here putting
good
women
looking
in a scissor lock.
51-year-old man I can be.
In a full Nelson.
I got a lot of guys. Listen, I graduated high school in 1989. I'm class of 89.
I was almost born in 89.
And let me tell you something. Half of I've had 3 high school reunions so far. I've already had 3 of them. I've been out of high school over 30 years. And my thing is, every year that I go, I look at people fought. They got one foot. Some of these fellas got one foot in the grave and they're younger than me. I be like, God damn, he just fell off. But I know why he don't trip off of beauty. He can't. Once again, the marketplace determines that. So the reality is everybody gets what they qualify for. And if you can't handle a baddie, that's a personality problem. If you don't want the woman's looking at, if you don't want guys looking at your girl, you worried about, you insecure, that sounds like a personality issue. I don't mind people looking at my girl, especially if we solid and I'm good. And so this just think about this, you guys. Who says money can't buy happiness? Broke niggas. Who says beauty is only skin deep?
Ugly people.
Ugly ass women.
The ugly folk. So the people that think that I'm shallow, and I know people are going, because I'm not in the comments, but I'm sure people in the comments. So Shan is probably saying this. Listen, you probably the ones that's talking shit is probably the ugly girls.
Ain't nobody says that.
Ugly ones. They're the ones that I wouldn't pick anyway. They're the ones that I would not date. But the good-looking women understand that good looking matters. Same thing with men. So I just wanted to put that out there, you guys. You get what you qualify for. Beauty does matter. Your check sometimes is bigger the badder your chick is. It works like that. It depends on what level of what socioeconomic level you on. On certain socioeconomic levels, you are determined by who's on your arm. That is just what it is. What it is, fellas. I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules. And if you roll up in there, with a chick that looks like you ain't got it going on, your checks, your deals, your contracts, your partners, and all that other kind of stuff might not be as good as if it would be if you had a baddie. I didn't make the rules.
I agree with a lot of
Shan. At the end of the day, success leaves signs like all day. It's just like you're talking about men that have nice watches, that have nice cars, always either have a beautiful woman on their arm or a gang of beautiful women around them. Because like you said, the marketplace chooses if you're that dude, the women are choosing that dude. They are the marketplace.
The marketplace.
I think you guys are speaking of like a superficial type of success though. Because there's a lot of like for example, you're talking about there's signs of success. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? There's a guy out there who has the Rollie, who has the Bentley, who has all of that, and is a millionaire. There's a guy who has none of that and is a billionaire. So all of what y'all saying sounds good. Like, for example, I agree with most of what Shannon said, but he was saying how there's a universal standard of beauty. That's unequivocally false, and that's the reason why a lot of the time the baddest girls from high school, or like after high school, usually the girls that are the baddest after high school are the ones who weren't the baddies in high school. And the reason why is because niggas really cannot assess beauty very well. In high school, they cannot see the signs of where she's going. They can't see it. They don't notice her. And then they're shocked and surprised when this girl is the baddest chick that they've seen when she's 25. And it's like certain dudes go for those girls that nobody was checking for because that matched their standard of beauty. So this universal standard of beauty idea is like, it's not realistic. You might have a girl that you think is the baddest girl in the world, and she turns heads for a lot of dudes, and you take her in another room and she doesn't turn heads for those dudes. So it's all subjective. So I get what you're saying. Like you want to pick a beautiful woman. You don't want someone that's ugly. But at the same time, beauty is always going to be subjective. So how are we going to pretend that there's some universal standard when it's always
what room is that?
We're talking about two different people.
Yeah. I can give you a perfect example. For example, in some rooms, I could get a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, thin white girl, no titties, no ass. In some rooms, I take that girl into a room, and she is the 10 in that room. There's some girls where I take her there's some rooms where I might take her to a club in Atlanta, and she's no longer the 10 in that room because the 10 in that room got a big ass, big titties, and a 42-inch weave. So it really depends. Now, if I go to Latin America, the same girl that was the baddie in Atlanta is not the baddest chick in the club in Argentina, and she's not, and that girl's not the baddest chick in the club in Russia. So I'm just saying, everybody has different tastes.
But Clout, you take me to the extreme saying she's not the baddest,
right?
You
really are.
That's just if we
talk. That's what the video was about. The video was about the guy saying his girl got to be the baddest, which is subjective.
Right? I'm just saying, right? So if we talk in basketball, you got one Mount Rushmore. That's 4 dudes. That don't mean that there are 50 more dudes or that are amazing. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is Halle Berry, you know, in the 2000s, the 90s, or whatever.
What room she gonna be ugly?
For women, Boris Cujo.
There's no room she gonna be ugly. There's no room.
But there are rooms where she's not the baddest.
Period. It's not
zero rooms where she's not beautiful.
Are just attractive.
But there's rooms where she's not the baddest. Is my point. Halle Berry's beautiful, yes, but there's rooms where Halle Berry's beautiful. But you put her. Hold on. You put Halle Berry in a room with supermodels.
Any room.
She's not standing out the same.
That's what she was with.
That was in a room when she was with.
Halle Berry is an actress. She stands out. Hold on. She stands. Hold on. Hear me out.
Woman in the world.
Just hear me out. She stands out in films against other actresses, but Halle Berry is not standing out against supermodels. She's not.
I've met Halle Berry.
Just let it go.
That's why she's not married to a billionaire. There's a million young girls that are married to billionaires, and Halle Berry's not one of them. Let's be honest.
She was voted. Hold on. She was voted most beautiful woman in the world 4 times.
Yet she's not married to a billionaire. Y'all are saying that success leaves signs. So why is she not married to a billionaire?
Marriage outcomes.